We're hearing for the first time from Bentonville's superintendent, Michael Poore. We told you first here in 4029 News last night that he has accepted a job as Little Rock School District Superintendent and will be leaving the Northwest Arkansas area this summer. Poore tells us he is optimistic about starting his new role.
I don't really feel like I'm leaving Bentonville as much as I'm going towards Little Rock. And the excitement of the challenge and the opportunity to go into that school district, I got to tell you, it excites me in terms of what's possible.
You are on the fastest route despite slower than usual
Man,
traffic.
look, we're already on the fastest route. I just started backing out. I made the right choice. What direction to back out? Every district is different in terms of where they are, the kind of success they've had with traditional measures, and certainly some areas of the country and some districts have had significant social challenges. Historically, just about everyone knows Little Rock School District because of what happened back in the 50s with segregation. People like Mike Poore see that this is more than a strategy that can be a benefit to students when they enter the workforce. It's more about completely changing mindsets around what it means to be in an education program, or to be in a school, to be a learner, a lifelong learner, because it's a life changer for a lot of these students.
It's an interesting district. It's the largest city. It's the capital city of Arkansas. 24 superintendents in 30 years prior to me, 5 superintendents in the 7 years before I arrived. So a lot of turnover, a lot of change, a lot of trust issues and perception issues, loss of enrollment to some of our surrounding communities. That's been going on really for decades. Performance not going well, and then you have a decrease in budget because we also lost $41 million in desegregation funds that the state said they weren't going to give anymore. So there was dramatic budget reductions that had to take place too. You try to build a program at a time when you're making dramatic budget reductions. We cut $11 million my first year. We cut $5 million last year. This coming year, we're probably scheduled to reduce another $4 to $5 million. Yet we're not backing off this program and moving forward. But a part of that is because we're getting great partnerships.
I mean, this is a pretty big event for them to coordinate in only their second year.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a professional skills clinic where they will have different opportunities and stations to practice skills. I know there's some mock interviewing that's going to be happening with professionals in the community, mentors, business partners. So yeah, it should be really fascinating to see how that plays out.
Introduce you to a few important people we have with us today.
This was really the first, if you want to call it kind of a grand experiment, to try this in a different environment. You know, Blue Valley, where we came from and where we started this program, we're a suburban school district in southern part of Kansas City, a fairly high socioeconomic status, traditionally high performing school district. That said, when people try to see themselves in how they can roll out a program, it's not as easy for certain school districts to come into Blue Valley and say, I see ourselves in here. My, in some ways, hope, which may sound strange, is that they're not coming to see us, they're coming to see you. Because you are the exemplar for the model that can work in a major metro area.
We're really maybe one of the first in the CAPS model to grab a hold of this type of delivery in an urban setting. And I think that, you know, there were some challenges in that some of the people in this community even shared, well, you did this in Bentonville and it happened in Blue Valley, but that's 2 totally different communities. It won't work for the students here. And that actually motivated me even more because I believe that kids are kids and if given the chance to be able to allow students to be innovative and creative and work with adults, that great things happen.
Well, I was excited when I first heard like the counselors say like, well, we have this new program and listed all the different strands, and it was like teaching. I was like, yeah, I gotta get in that. I can do that. I can change people's lives in that.
What would you like to gain from your externship experience?
I would like to gain like different types of like skills that I can use as I become a teacher, and I also use that skills to like build up my like level in teaching, because first I want to start as a math teacher, but then I want to be like the math like coordinator, and then I want to go back to college and maybe become an assistant principal or a principal.
You think you want to be about that life?
Us being in the leadership role of you can do this, or having people motivate us saying that you can do this, not just, oh, you're just too young because you're still in high school, because they see our generation as like lazy or like just stuck on our phones. But now this Excel programs gives us professional ideas of how we should act in the world.
So how were the interviews?
I aced my interview.
What does that mean, you aced it? Like,
I did a very good job.
okay, great.
I got the job.
You got the job?
Yeah.
People are finally starting to see like who you are and who you can potentially be. Important people, some of the higher people, like being with the superintendent, like getting to shake his hand, talking to him, like him knowing my name, my face, like, hey, Xandria, how are you? You know, that like shows that I'm like, climbing up, and that's what Excel is all about, you know, we climbing up.
You know, we create roadblocks for young people sometimes to be successful. It's interesting that a lot of times adults look at young people and they'll characterize them and quickly almost put them into a box to say they seem disrespectful, or their head's down, or they don't know how to shake hands, they don't know these soft skills. But my response back is, well, where have we really reached out to empower those young people to have their voice be actually used in a productive, proactive manner in order for them to be able to share out to adults? And if we create those kind of settings, I think the adult world will be shocked by what high school kids, what they're capable of if they're given the chance to do real things.